This is the new Molus X100 by ZHIYUN. It's a 100 watt bi-color LED cob light, and I think it's going to change the way that run-and-gun filmmakers create. Let me explain. What's up, nerds? Welcome back to the channel. Lighting is one of my favorite aspects of filmmaking. You can really shape a shot to show emotion, or to display a subject, or to tell the story. Honestly, it's just really fun for me. And throughout my career, I've had the opportunity to work with some amazing lights from Arri, Godox, Aperture, and now ZHIYUN. A while back, ZHIYUN sent me their 40 watt LED kind of brick light that's really similar to the Aperture MC. And then they also sent me their F100 tube light, which is actually my rim light today. And I've been really impressed with these products the last month or so. They're built very well, and as you can tell, they get very bright for 40 watts. Now, typically I've known ZHIYUN for gimbals, and I had no idea that they made lights until they reached out to me a couple weeks ago to test out the new X100. And you might imagine when I saw this thing, I was very curious. I immediately thought, that's a light? I was very interested, so I immediately said yes. They also have their new G60 light, which is just a 60 watt version of this light. Has a lot of the exact same features. Unfortunately, ZHIYUN did not send me that model, so I'm not testing that in this video, but I will be showing off all the features of this wonderful X100, showing you how to use it, and really just explaining why this is my new favorite light. Full disclosure, this video isn't sponsored by ZHIYUN, but yes, they did send me this light. I do get to keep it afterward, so take that with a grain of salt, but rest assured, my words are my own, and I will be honest in my review of this light. So like I said, it's a 100 watt bi-color LED cob light. If you don't know how powerful 100 watts is, well, rest assured, it's powerful enough to be a key light. Right now I'm using the Godox VL150, which is a 100 watt LED cob light, and it is lighting me right now. It's at 7%. 100 watt output is a lot of output. In my testing and using this light, it is rare if I go over 50% using this thing. Now, obviously, if I'm doing high-speed frame rate where I really need a lot of lighting, I'm gonna bump that up past 50% and use as much power as I can from this light. So let's talk about power options with this light. First of all, you're going to have AC power just like every other light out there. So you have this giant power brick, plug it into the wall, and then use the 24 volt DC adapter to have external power via the AC power. But you also have the option to power this thing via USB-C. One quick warning about that though is that you can't go above 50% when you are powering via USB-C if your power brick is not powerful enough. But if you are just plugging this into, say, a USB AC adapter, you're going to be able to power this thing 100%, just like using, the AC brick. So that's all fine and dandy. But here's where the awesome part of this light comes into play. Typically, if you wanted to power a cob light like the Godox VL150 with battery, you would have to use a V-mount battery like this. Now, this thing is really big. In fact, it is as big as the X100, but way, way thicker. I mean, look at that. It is basically the span of if you had like 3 of these stacked up against each other. That is the size of this huge battery. And that's how you'd have to power these LED cob lights like the Godox VL150. And I've done that in some cases. But like I said, where this light really stands out is the fact that it comes with a battery already. In fact, it's a grip for the light. So this comes with it, and then you just take this tab off the side of the light and attach your battery just like that. As far as I know, on the battery, you're able to get about 30 minutes of 100%. Now that's going to double and triple depending on the percentage that you decide to go with. So 50%, you're going to get around an hour. Less than that, you're going to get even more. So you're going to get a significant amount of battery life with this thing if you're going to be running it outside. Before I talk about the mount, I do want to mention that this is Bluetooth compatible. They do have an app that you can use to control this light. I tested it with this light and it functioned pretty well. I definitely think there's room for improvement, but where isn't there room for improvement for an app? The controls are extremely simple. You have your dimmer knob right here, you have your Kelvin bi-color knob right here, and your power button. It's that simple. You can either twist then to change the output of the light or change the color temperature. If you click on them, they're actually going to give the light in increments. So this is blasting right now. That's 100%, that's 0%, 50%, 100%. So it goes by 50% increments from 0, 50% to 100 as you click on the control knob. Same thing with the color temperature. If you just tap on the knob, it's going to change your color temperature and go through the different color temperatures from 2700 to 5500 to 6500 back to 2700. So again, very simple controls. Not hard to get confused by this thing. Now, if you haven't noticed already, there is a giant fan on the back of this thing. As far as fan noise, I would not be worried at all. I ran it at 100% for about 30 minutes, and I could hear fan noise if I was within about a meter from the light. But as soon as I got past that, couldn't hear it at all. When you're at 50%, it's rare if the fan actually turns on, and anything down there, in my testing, it didn't turn on at all. Talking about build quality really quick, most of it is a hard type of plastic, except for parts where the fan is, where these cooling spots are, and these heat sinks right here are all metal. One thing you might be worried about is touching this like it's getting hot. I didn't notice it getting hot to the touch. It did get warm at some points when I was running it at 100%, but I never felt like I was gonna burn myself when handling this light. And even then, you can just grab the battery grip and you don't even have to touch this part of the light at all. All right, so let's talk about the mount. Typically, COB lights like Aperture or Godox are going to provide a Bowens mount. In order to keep the size down, ZHIYUN produced the ZY mount. So this is significantly smaller than a Bowens mount. So this is their mini softbox, and you just open it by kind of pulling on these tabs and it pops open. I've got the grid on it right now, so it does come with the grid, but that's totally detachable. And then when you're ready to put this thing away, it's super easy. You just twist this knob, it pops down, and then you Velcro strap it, and you're ready to go again. Probably the easiest softbox I've ever used. Comparatively to like this Aperture Light Dome Mini right here, it is probably a quarter the size. So yeah, super easy to use. You're also going to get, like with a lot of COB lights, this little reflector. So if you want to do some hard lighting or get a little bit more power output, and again, it just snaps on super easy, just like that. And then when you're ready to take it off, genius. ZHIYUN did send me one accessory that is sold separately from the packages, but you can pick this up. This is a little dome diffusion. So you kind of have this rubber piece that is attached to a reflector, and similar to a lantern diffusion, this produces a fairly soft lighting source that can light up an entire room, or you can use it on a subject. Yeah, that's a fairly soft source, honestly. So yeah, tons of versatility with this new ZY mount. But I know what you're thinking. You're probably like me and have invested hundreds of dollars into Bowens mount softboxes and projector lenses and stuff like that, right? Right? Well, never fear, ZHIYUN thought about this and provided one more accessory. This is available in 2 of their packages. If you get the combo package or the pro package, you will get this adapter, but this is a ZY to Bowens mount adapter. This is probably my favorite accessory overall. Mostly what makes me excited about it is it kind of distributes the weight of the softbox to the actual light. Adding this battery on here does add a little bit of weight. The light itself is a little under 300 grams, and you add this and you're adding quite a bit to it. So it does make it a little heavier, not by much, not nearly as heavy as a standard COB light. But what I like about this Bowens adapter is that it distributes the weight of both of those things. So it makes it so it's actually a stronger setup than if you just had the light and then, you know, a bigger softbox on there. And then if you wanted to, you could use the AC power adapter, which doesn't require you to use this battery. You just plug it directly into the light, and then you're significantly lighter on here. ZHIYUN really thought of everything when they were producing this. One thing that you don't see very often on budget light brands is a travel case. A lot of times they'll just send the light and you don't get a case with it. But with this light, you will get a case to keep your light stored in. It's pretty small, compact, much smaller than my other lights. So for on-the-go type of shoots, it's gonna keep my light safe, and it'll be small enough that it's not gonna be super annoying to carry around. Also, if you're gonna be running battery powered, you can use the slot that typically has the AC cord, but you can use that to actually put your softbox in, so you're even more compact. So you have your diffusion, your battery, everything all in this case. I feel like lighting products don't change very much. It's kind of, we nailed it, and now mostly it's just getting more color accurate. There wasn't really like size change or stuff like that. But with this, I see this being very innovative in not only being much smaller and still giving out the output of much bigger lights, but also being bicolor. That's something that you have to pay a premium for, and with this light, you don't have to. And you get something that's very travel friendly, especially for the run and gun filmmakers out there, or even photographers, like wedding videographers and photographers. Like, this is awesome. It's not gonna distract everybody around. It's not gonna be annoying to carry around, and it's battery powered, so you don't have to worry about having to plug in lights at the reception center or something like that. If I was still doing weddings, this would be in my bag every time. So what do you guys think about the new ZHIYUN X100? What do you think about the G60 that just came out as well? Let me know in the comments down below. I'm really curious to see what you guys guys think. Obviously, I've had my time to test this light and I decided that I love this thing. I'm going to be picking up multiple of them. But yeah, let me know what you think in the comments down below. If you are new to this channel, thank you so much for subscribing. The growth that I've had in the last few months is just so humbling, and I can't be more grateful for the support that I've had with my channel, with Instagram, and I'm so excited to keep making content about a topic that I love. So thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that bell button so you never miss out on new young filmmaker content. Good luck filmmaking.